organic food, reducing pesticide use, herbicide use, all the different things that go into conventional agriculture that don't go into organic agriculture. So how Texas that are produced here in Texas, and then they go to a distribution center somewhere else, California, Florida, Colorado, and then they're shipped back to the retailers here in Texas. Often the retailers, the larger ones, have their own distribution center that it'll go to first. So it'll go through 2 distribution centers and then go to the grocery store and sit on the shelf and kind of hope that you buy it. At Greenling, we feel what we're doing is not just about convenience. This isn't just about a luxury item. We're really trying to change supply chain, and it just goes straight from the producer to us and then to the people. And some of the things like in our local box, a lot of times these farmers will come, they'll pick it early morning, they'll bring it to us, we'll put it on a truck afternoon, and it'll get to people's homes by the afternoon. So sometimes some of the items in the local box people are eating, it was in the ground less than 12 hours earlier. And we think it's a pretty amazing thing that the internet has completely made possible. It just wouldn't be possible without the technology that we have driving our website, as well as on the back end, driving our inventory management. When we place orders with our vendors, we know 90% already what our customers have ordered. So we place orders with farmers directly. We say we have 150 people who want edamame or potatoes this week, and so the farmers just go out and harvest that much for it and bring it right to us, and then we go out and deliver it. So we have very little inventory. We have 90% less waste than groceries, and it's just super good stuff that comes right to your door. You don't have to be home for delivery. It comes in bins like these, and they're actually insulated, and in the Texas summer heat, food will last up to 4 hours in here without being adversely affected, as long as it's in the shade. If it ends up in the sun, which our drivers don't do, it'd be less, but in the shade it lasts up to 4 hours. I brought an example local box, which we can give away kind of at the end. And right now it's kind of late in the season, but we got cantaloupe, we got lots of squash and peppers, and the Montesino farm out in Wimberley actually has edamame right now. Okra is obviously big for the summertime. Lots of okra. We've still got some lettuce. This is from, it's either Bluebonnet or Amador, and it's a hydroponic lettuce. Most lettuce wouldn't be able to survive in the summertime. We've got some herbs and peppers and squash and potatoes, and we've managed to, through a lot of really good relationships and building relationships with farmers, establish a year-round supply of healthy food that we can just continue to count on, and we can deliver to our customers even when say if you join a CSA, if something gets wiped out on one farm, we're able to work with a lot of different farms to make sure that we still have lots of good fresh stuff. So beyond what's local, we also carry the full selection of the grocery store. We've got grass-fed beef, chicken, dairy, local eggs. With everything we do, we get it locally when we can, so we have local breads and eggs and some dairy. But if we can't get it locally, then we do get it from California or Colorado. One of the difference between the stuff that we get that's not local and what you may find in the grocery store is that we actually investigate every company that we work with to make sure that it's not just meeting the letter of the law of organics, but that they're adhering to the principles of organics, and they're creating the food with values and not just to kind of jump on the organic bandwagon. So that's about it that I have for our service. If anyone has any questions, I'm happy to answer them now. One of the things that, a reason why I was really excited to come here is because this is kind of, it's in between Austin and San Antonio. It's not a huge market, but we really, really want to get more local and organic food to everyone. And as we go out into less populated areas, there's kind of a critical mass of deliveries that we have to make it worthwhile. And so I'd really like to, I've got coupons up here for everyone, and we'll be giving away a door prize. And kind of would love for more people to sign up so that we can deliver to more areas and to more zip codes and get local food out there.
Where are you located?
Our warehouse is in South Austin. So we're in Austin, and but we deliver all the way from Georgetown down to San Antonio.
How do you pay if you don't have to be there to deliver?
Yeah,
You-
drop it off at my house.
There's two ways to pay. One, you enter your credit card online, and we just bill it whenever the food is delivered. Or you can pay cash on delivery. When we drop off, we'll drop off one of these bins, and then the next time we come, we take the old bin and leave a new bin, and you can leave a check in the old bin. And the things like dairy and meat that have to be kept at a super low temperature, we have these cold packs that we'll put inside the bag, and we'll put ice packs in there to keep them nice and cold too. And they last up to 4 hours as well on the porch.
So how much is the delivery charge?
There's no delivery fee. We have prices comparable to the grocery store, and we don't charge a delivery fee. And the reason we're able to do this is because we shrink that supply chain down. There's not a distributor taking their cut and a retailer taking their cut. We're able to combine all of that, and that covers our costs for delivering straight to homes, and we're able to match the grocery store prices.
What are the options for hours for it to be dropped off? Like if you wanted to be there to pick it up, is there options for that, or is it pretty much at the same time?
In some areas, there's two windows, either a morning or an afternoon, and it's about a 4 or 5 hour window. I think right now for New Braunfels, we're delivering just 3 or 4, maybe up to 5 or 6 drops, and we just have an afternoon route that comes down here, and it's between 2 and 5 p.m. is normally when they're dropped. But as it grows, we'll be able to, most people like the afternoon to evening type drop, and we try to accommodate that as we get density.
Was there a certain day of the week? Yeah.
Currently, for New Braunfels, it's Tuesday that we come by. We've been flip-flopping between doing it on Tuesday and Thursday, and if we get enough people, then we can do both so that people can choose. But right now, we come down through here. Tuesday and Thursday, but we're only dropping on Tuesday right now because we've only got a few deliveries.
What is your critical mass to go into an area?
It depends on how far kind of off of our route it is. If there's a neighborhood and you're in a zip code that's just, we organize by zip code. And so we currently deliver to kind of, it's New Braunfels proper zip code. And we'd like to expand to these other zip codes. And if you go on our website and you enter your zip code and it says we don't deliver there yet, there's an area where you can enter your email address and your zip code and give little comments. And it's between 5 and 10 people to go into a brand new zip code that we need to kind of make it worthwhile. And lots of people, what they've done is they have neighborhood newsletters or different ways that they communicate with people in their area, and they'll go out and they'll get enough people together and they just tell us, here's all the email addresses of the people that are interested in the service, and so we'll open up the new zip code.
What is the timeline for ordering?
So currently, since we drop on a Tuesday, you have to have your changes in by Saturday at midnight. So it's midnight on the third day before the order, and that gives us time to communicate with the farmers and place the order and bring it around.
Where are you getting fruit from?
I brought a banana for an example, but obviously the bananas aren't locally. The cantaloupe right now is from Acadian Family Farms, and they're out northwest pretty sure they're in the San Saba area right now. And there's obviously not a lot of fruit in Texas, but there are still some summer melons coming. The cantaloupe are getting towards the end of the season. We just finished up with watermelon, and then it's usually wintertime before we start getting some of the high area citrus and other
How
fruit.
many black diamonds do you get in the box?
Black diamonds?
Would you get-
One watermelon.
Oh. Gotcha.
Would you like get peaches from Fredericksburg?
Yeah.
Like that?
So an interesting, I always love when people ask about peaches because a lot of people don't realize that peaches are the most polluted fruit of any fruit or vegetable. The Environmental Working Group did a study where they, even after washing and peeling them, they took all sorts of different fruits and vegetables and tested them. And because peaches have such a thin skin and they absorb things that are put on them, they're the most polluted, and the peaches that you find in a grocery store can have up to 96 different pesticides on them. And it doesn't necessarily, the peaches, a lot of them don't naturally grow in Texas. So Texas, there's a lot of people that actually put a lot of different pesticides and herbicides on the peaches here. There are some organic peaches in Texas, and we've been getting them from Cliff Caskey. And so we had them through most of the summer. I think they just ended. I don't think there's any here in the last couple of weeks, but they were absolutely phenomenal.
Was he in San Marcos?
Hmm?
Was he in San Marcos area?
He goes to the farmer's market in Austin, but...
I got some from it. I think I got some from it at the New Braunfels
Yeah.
Farmers Market.
Oh, okay, he's
Yeah.
going to that one
Just
too.
finished.
What was the last?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they were great.
yeah, they were just phenomenal. Amazing.
I have a couple of questions. I went on your site and say under vegetables, there's a few that have local.
Mhm.
Does that mean that all the rest are organic?
Right,
Okay, and the local may or may not be organic.
right.
Okay.
So anything that's not local is certified organic because we don't have the ability to go visit the farm. If it's local, it's either certified organic or it's sustainably grown, organically grown, and we go out and visit these farms and make sure that they're adhering to organic principles. But some farms locally, they're either too small or they don't necessarily want to hassle with the paperwork. A lot of them don't necessarily agree with the USDA on the organic standards, so they kind of do their own thing. And that's fine, and we love to support that as well.
And then my other question is, say I ordered some tomatoes. Is that like at a farmer's market where it's big, you know, a whole big thing of tomatoes, or do you order 2 tomatoes? I mean, how do you order your fruit and vegetables?
So the sizes, it kind of depends. Sometimes we sell by the pound, or normally if they're big enough, because we have to do the picking and the packing process, which is very labor intensive, we will, whenever possible, we'll just sell by the count. And so you would just order 1 tomato or whatever it has to be. When tomatoes get small, then we move to a pound type system. And it's usually really easy to tell on the website. We're constantly working on making sure it's clear the units that they're kind of sold in.
Do you have like a surprise box where I don't know what's in it, but I'm going to be happy when I open it?
That many people get that feeling from the local box because you don't actually choose what goes in it. We just get the absolute freshest things. And one of the great things about the local box is that it allows us to work with smaller farmers. And if we just put some of these things on the website, they might get over-ordered and people wouldn't get them. But when we can work with a bunch of different farmers and kind of distribute it out, then everyone gets something special in their box.
Okay.
And we also have an add-on called the Artisan and Farmstead add-on that can go onto the local box or any other box. And it's got 4 different items, and it's usually a local cheese, a bread, and a couple different kind of special local items that aren't actually produce, but they're created by local producers and things that we think are really great.
Edibles, though. Edibles?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, what
Pretty much everything we do is food. We have a few non-food items, but they're usually food related. We have these we think they're really incredible biodegradable trash bags and some things that are related. And something I always forget to mention, just because it's what we do. Exhaust fans for our warehouse, our solar panel. We've got all of the compact fluorescent lights. And everything we do, we try to recycle and reuse. The bedding inside of our bins is actually shredded newspaper that we get from the Chronicle. And even down to our bags that we put things like okra and beans in, these are biodegradable as well. So everything that we do, we try to make it environmentally friendly.
Do you have a catalog or, show my age, if you don't have a computer, how do you order?
If you don't have a computer, the best way to order is to call up. We've got a wonderful customer service rep named Devin, and she's there to talk you through it and to take your order.
Is there a contract we have to sign, a certain period of time we have to?
Nope, you can start or stop at any time, and when you go through and place your order, you can see a schedule of the next 8 weeks, and you can pick and choose and say, I want it this week, I don't want it that week. You can uncheck them all and say, I just want to do it once and order again later on. And you can also, what you can do is build different baskets. If you have one basket of stuff that you know you want to get every week, and you can schedule that, and then you can build other baskets of things that you want to try every now and then, or if you know you have a party coming up, and you can just schedule that on one particular day, and then you'll stop getting it and it'll go back to the things that you want. Mm-hmm.
Do you have organic milk?
We do. We use Organic Valley for organic milk, which is a co-op of small farms. We think it's the best nationally available milk producer there is. We've seen some of we've actually talked to a couple of the farmers that sell to Organic Valley. The milk that we get comes from Texas pastures, and Organic Valley bottles it up in a plant here in Texas. And then we have a local, it's not certified organic, but they naturally raise their cattle and everything, called Remember When Dairy.
Are they raw again? Non-pasteurized and homogenized?
Unfortunately not. The Remember When Dairy is non-homogenized, but it's illegal for us to sell raw milk. If it was legal, we would do it. And if you need any resources, I can probably point you in the right direction to find. There are raw milk buying clubs where they become shares of the actual farm, and you're able to get raw milk that way.
One White Eckert farm. White Eckert farm. They're selling raw unpasteurized goat milk.
Oh, yeah. So very similar to that. And goat milk is a little bit different. Some people don't like it as an actual milk. It's different, and the rules around goat milk are a little bit different as well. The dairy board was most concerned about cow's milk, and they don't think goat's milk is.
So in Texas, to be able to purchase raw milk, you have to own part of the cow. No.
You can buy as pet food, you can buy it as raw milk.
You just have to buy it directly from the farmer.
From the producer.
Yeah. And there's also rules about whether they can deliver or not. And
well, I've read quite a bit about it in Acres, and there's a racket.
yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And then
Pretty messed up.
with studies coming out about the benefits of it and the dangers of, number one, pasteurization killing all of the beneficial enzymes and everything, and homogenization creating, almost sounds counterintuitive, but sharp fat globules that actually contribute to our arterial sclerosis because they dig into the arteries in the homogenization process. It just mangles them. But it's one of those things.
Scary what the government won't let us have.
Yeah. When I went to...
And what they will make us take.
One of the things, last year I drafted legislation and lobbied for it, creating the Organic Advisory Board to the Texas Department of Agriculture, so that trying to garner more support for organic farming. But one of the issues I first brought up was the milk issue and raw milk, and seeing what we could do to advance the availability of raw milk, and they were just like, don't even touch it. Like, there's no way you're going to be able to affect this issue without millions of dollars, because the Milk Board is a very powerful lobbying group. So I decided to start a little smaller.
Yeah. Do you accept walk-ins at your facility in South Austin?
We do. Yeah, you can come by and pick it up. You can't come by and pick and choose off of our shelves, because it's not a retail location, so it's not like a grocery store, but you can place an order and then come get it.
Same in San Antonio?
No, we do not have a warehouse in San Antonio.
You have an address in San Antonio?
Huh?
You have an address in San Antonio?
We do have an address there, and we keep an office, and we do marketing out of that office, but currently we don't have enough business in San Antonio to warrant the infrastructure costs of doing a warehouse down there, but soon enough.
My wife, when she purchases cantaloupe, she's got to smell the cantaloupe. She can't smell it, she won't purchase it. If she was to get that cantaloupe and she couldn't smell it, could she turn it in next week for, I guess, a smellier cantaloupe?
Better yet, will you make sure that it's been smelled? Same thing, before I pick my cantaloupes, I'm going to need to smell it.
So that's a great question, and one of the things we recognize that it's a pretty big leap of faith for a lot of people to not be able to pick their own produce. We have a 100% satisfaction guarantee. If there's anything at all that's not up to your standards, you just let us know, call or email, or just do a note on your next order, and we'll replace it. If you have special requests, you want your cantaloupe sniffed before.
That's a quarter, right?
We do cater to special requests, so we're absolutely willing. People give us and even in the local box, people will say, "I've had enough okra for the season. Don't give me any more okra," and we'll replace the okra with something else. So.
Do you have organic ground turkey?
We do. We have currently it's through Organic Valley. They have meat as well. It's not a local organic turkey. We have I think it comes and goes. We actually had some local ground turkey earlier this year. And I'm not 100% sure if we still have it or if we'll wait until the fall again, until later in the fall to get it. But we do have it.
I'm sure your meats are delivered, all of them frozen?
Yes, except for we have sliced deli meats, and those are delivered fresh. But the rest of it's frozen.
I'm sorry, I missed what all kind of meats you have.
We've got everything we've got bison, chicken, beef, we've got everything from jerky to cutlets and steaks to ground beef to ground bison to quite often ground turkey. And we've got chicken breasts, whole chicken broilers, and different cuts of chicken as well.
Are they all grass-fed?
They are. The ones that are local are grass-fed. Some of the like the ground turkey, if it comes from Organic Valley, it's certified organic, and they say it's grass-fed, it's pasture, and what that actually means we wouldn't know unless we went up to.
Just out of the cage.
Well, luckily they're actually tightening up the rules on that. There has been some, with any emerging industry, you're going to have some bad kids, some people that try to, get around the rules. And they actually just passed new regulations around pasture and the definition of it and what it means. And it's unfettered access, and it's something like 200 days a year. I don't want to put a number on it because I'll misquote it. But they actually came out with some pretty good rules for not only the slaughter cattle for the meat, but the dairy cows as well, to try and close those loopholes that the people like Horizon Organics, I'm sure they've got great intentions and everything. They've been contracting with different producers, and they've been under investigation, they've been fined because they try to get around the rules, and we don't carry Horizon Organics because of that until, you know, they can prove to the public that that they're living by the intention and not just the rule.
Is there a minimum order?
$25.
When are you gonna have whole organic turkeys?
We have those we have fresh, whole, organic turkeys right around Thanksgiving, and then from this Thanksgiving on, we should have frozen turkeys available year-round. And they are around Thanksgiving, it's absolutely the best turkey you'll ever put in your mouth. They're slaughtered on Monday. We get them Monday night, and we deliver them Tuesday and Wednesday. They never hit a freezer. They're 3 days old by the time you get it, and it's the freshest, most succulent meat you'll eat.
Okay, do you give equal time to the, those of us that want tofu?
We do. We carry tofu. We have soy milk. We've got just straight tofu, and then we've got a bunch of different tofu products.
Tofurkey?
Soybeans not good for you.
In general, organic soybeans are better for you
If
than.
they are fermented, they're fine. If they're not fermented, they're not worth having.
Oh yeah. I've
Thanks for
heard
mentioning
some
that,
of
David.
That would be the edamame, is not good for you?
Let's go ahead and let it.
Well, I'm interested in that as well. I'm actually mildly allergic to soybeans, so I don't eat them and I don't know a lot about them.
Y'all haven't visited all of your meat suppliers, it sounds like. It says y'all you do visit your vegetable suppliers and produce suppliers, but some of your meat suppliers, the organic ones?
We visit the local ones, the non-local ones. Organic Valley and Applegate Farms are the two places we get meat from that's not local. They're both co-ops, so smaller farms. They're not huge producers. And I wish we had the budget to fly all over the country and visit them because that'd be fun. But we don't.
So you just have to take their word for it, and so far the trust has worked.
Yeah.
In terms of your breads, do you have anything that's gluten-free? Or I don't know if that's...
We do. We've got a gluten-free sandwich bread and some gluten-free. We've got a couple of spelt breads, and then I believe we also have some gluten-free tortillas. Local. We do carry lamb from Loncito. Loncito, and they're down in San Antonio.
Loncito Cartwright.
Yeah.
What about butter?
We do have butter. We carry Organic Valley and also Remember When dairy butter, and I think that's it.
And yard eggs?
We do. We've got local eggs. We've actually got local certified organic eggs, and then we also get some heritage chicken eggs from several small producers, and we'll put them in the artisan and farmstead boxes. Sometimes we'll put them on the website if they're laying a lot and we've got enough that we can make it fully available. Otherwise, we put them in the farmstead box.
So what does that mean? The heritage chicken eggs just have a good genealogy?
Yeah.
I don't either.
Usually, so to me what it means is that the eggs are all different colors. And so they've got the speckles on them, and so it's the different types of, yeah.
Different colored shells.
Yeah, yeah. And so the different kinds of birds, instead of having, one laying hen,
I see.
one variety of
Mix.
the chicken.
Mixed breed.
Yeah.
What about, do you deliver to any businesses for their, like restaurants or?
We do. We deliver to a few restaurants, including the Cove down in San Antonio. We deliver to some small grocery stores up in Austin. And we also deliver to offices all over our delivery area for their snack room, fruit baskets, and coffee.
How long have you been in business?
Been in business about 3 years now.
And do you do gift certificates?
We also do gift certificates. They're available online, as well as I think we're going to give one away here. So And
You'll have like a media kit, like if someone working in an office wanted to sign some people up.
absolutely, yeah. You just email us, and we can. Carrie, who is our marketing director, she can help you out and get you up and running.
Coffee?
We do have coffee. It's fair trade organic coffee, and it's actually locally roasted as well by a group called Summer Moon, and they wood fire their coffee. It's excellent.
What does that fair trade mean?
Fair trade means that they make sure that the growers actually get their fair share. A lot of coffee, you could go into an hour-long spiel on coffee and how farmers get absolutely nothing, and the companies importing it are making millions.
Okay,
a lot of the
I got
stuff
you.
that you end up in Starbucks.
Run across it in Sam's today. I didn't know what it meant.
Yeah, it just means that the producers are actually getting fair living wages for what they do. Any other questions?
Sounds like a good deal.
All right.
That's
I think it is too.
Do you know, we have a store that opened here on my side of town that sells at Target, but it doesn't sell fresh vegetables or meats. Nothing fresh. And so, this sounds good.
So it's just greenland.com?
Yep. Greenland.com, and I've got
I want one of those.
these. Should I just pass them around?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll just start some piles.
How do you find out what all you do have? Do you have books?
It's either online or you call up.
Oh, okay. I've got that computer in the garage. I'll get that out.
Yeah. Yes.
Wasn't worth it, huh?
You ready for this?
That's not
My
me.
dad's gonna get me this. Thank you.
No, no.
So